everybody, Mob Trap here. So, I spent a little bit, almost a month without releasing the second episode of The Witcher that I told I was doing the review because I had some problem with my computer. So now I'm using this little piece of tablet here in my phone, but just gonna do not the review, I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna do a little bit about the second episode called 4 Marks. The Witcher Season 1, Episode 2, 4 Marks, and I think we need to do a little bit back up from the first episode. The first episode, we figure out the character of Geralt, we figure out about evil that's, I think it's a lesser evil, something like that. There's a wizard, the first episode, a girl that's supposed to bring the end of something. No, not something I remember, but I don't want to talk about. But it's like a wizard tried to hire Garrett to kill a woman. Garrett didn't want it, so screw it. And the second episode. Now let's talk about the second episode and just watch it. Second episode started different from the first one because if you guys remember, the first episode started with Garrett killing a monster. In the second episode, we start in a village. I don't know if it's a village or a camp, but I have the impression that it's a small village. And there's a couple, and they are doing a couple things, blah 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 blah, talking to each other. Then they go kind of in the back of a barn, and the guy that's called the boyfriend, it gets a flower to the girl, and she gets angry because it's not a rose, and then she throws it to the ground because according, she got angry because not a rose, and the guy said that the roses are cliche. But anyway, it's just a joke between boyfriends, and they start kissing. And then the girl pans out to the place where she threw the flower, and she see that the flower isn't there. So what she does is she complains. She goes looking for the flower, and and they see a girl that has a few deformities. She has a problem in the back. I think she has a voluptuous thing on her back. Her problem in the face. She has like kind of her jaw was a little bit off place, and the boyfriend and the girlfriend they start beating up the girl. So and in this scene, while she's being beaten up, she ends up creating a portal and being transported to another place where we meet a guy. It's a black, tall guy, and we figure out that the girl has magic. And this place where she's teleported is kind of mm, I can't tell exactly how it is because we only see the inside. But imagine an old place filled with schools with free fires and stuff like that. And the guy tells her that she has power and magic, and then that the portal that she created to come to that place, it kind of put a target on her. And then it says that a woman is coming after her. So we cut a little bit forward. It shows her and her in her house with her family trying to feed the pig, and her father kind of bullies her, and then she makes her fall, and then trash falls over her. Not trash, the food falls over her. Then this woman comes in a carriage and offers to buy a pig. And then the guy says it's good, it costs 10 money. And she asks, and then she turns up and asks how much to buy the girl. And then he turns out and says 6, pretty much saying that she's worth less than a pig. And then the woman goes and says 4, and then they agree. And then the guy says sold out. And then the girl's mom comes and tells that we can sell it because she's a witch, you know exactly what's gonna do. And the guy said sold, the red said sold, so she's being sold. Then pretty much that's what happened. The girl said that she ain't coming, and then the witch turns around to look at her, and then we jump cut to her in kind of a room where it's locked, and then she breaks the glass. She turns back, walks slowly towards the glass, And then she says something I don't remember now because it was just a small word. I think it was someone's name. Then she punches the glass and it breaks. She starts crying a little bit. And then she grabs a piece of glass, insinuated that she's trying to commit suicide, and then it cuts. Then we jump cuts to the beautiful scene that we are hoping for a long, long time. The character being portrayed by Joey Bethea, and his character name is Dandelion. He's the bard, and he's singing in a pub. It's a pub. It's called a pub, something like that. In a bar. It's more than we people know, but he's singing that, and everybody's complaining that these songs are they're kind of shite, and he stops playing, and then he turns around and he sees Geralt, but he doesn't identify that he's a witcher. Then he goes and then say, "Dude, you're the only one that didn't complain about my song. What do you think? One true words." And then Geralt responds, "They don't exist." And then he asks, "What do you mean?" And Geralt responds, "The monsters on your music, they aren't real. They are fake, like you trash human." And then he says, "Oh, yeah, yeah, wait, you black hair, two cool swords, you're Witcher, you're Geralt." And then Geralt goes out. The bard is screaming with Geralt in the back. And there's a guy, he listens and he figures out that that was Geralt, the monk hunter, the Witcher. And then he said, "Geralt, uh, we need your help. I'm hiring you. We're paying 100 guineas because there's some monsters eating our crops, and we kind of need it if you want to survive." Then Garrett's bargain 150, and they say, "Okay, hey, get payment," and goes away. So we it cuts to Garrett carrying up his horse in a mountain, and then the bard is following him. So he makes a joke saying, what's the joke? He makes a joke with Geralt's title because he has a slaughter or something. Geralt, stop. You do the Hank Cavill, that sexy man face, turns at him and says, "Come here, get closer." Then he punches him in the belly. And we cut down again later to the girl from the last episode, that the one that was being taken care of by her grandmother, that was the queen. And then she sees some soldiers hunting her. So she hides behind a tree, and then she hides behind a tree, and then she turns out to look at the ground. She takes out her gloves and paints her hair with the mud to be a different color because they are looking for a girl with white hair. She paints her hair, and then she walks a little bit to find food. It's a tree with some berries, and then she goes to eat. Someone throws a rock at her, and it's a boy. It's a little bit. I think he's a little bit older than her, and he's with clothes and stuff like that, and she's threatened by him because she thinks he's gonna hurt her. And then he says with signs that if she eats, she's gonna die because it's poisonous. Then he shows a knife and tells her to come here. But it's not kind of in the threatening way. It's like, "Hey, I'm unarmed, come here." It sounds weird, but that's pretty much what happened. Then he shows there's a rat there, and then he asks her if she wants to kill. It's to eat. And then I say, "Okay, you don't want," and she says no, and they go, "Okay," and then he goes away. And then she's like, "Shit, I need this." Then they kill the rat, they make a little fire, they eat the rat, then they talk to each other. Then they keep moving. And then we show a little bit forward for a few seconds. They kind of creating a bonding. It's a small thing, but it's in cold, and then the boy is a little bit cold. Then he's doing the things with his hands to show that he's cold. And then she gives him one of her gloves. I'm like, okay, we are friends now. So it walks a little bit more, and then they kind of find a settlement from the rest of the people from her kingdom. Then they work a little bit more, and then they find a settlement from the rest of the people from her kingdom. And then the boy just disappears. Then she goes in, there's a little confusion. She finds another family of of kind of rich people that take care of her for a little bit. They figure out that everybody hates her grandmother and grandparents, but that's it's not super developed, but you just explain that they blame them for destroying this thing. After this scene, we cut back to the girl at the beginning, the one that's deformed, and she's awakened by the witch, and the witch pretty much says that, dude, if you kill yourself, no one's gonna care. And then she turns out and say, yeah, but you should let me do this because the only thing I have control of. And then she responds, no. Killing yourself is not gonna give you control, it's gonna take away. And then she's like, okay. And then the witch say to meet her in the greenhouse. So they are doing a ritual explaining exactly how she find them and that they are have powers. Then there's a bunch of other girls there. And what happened is there's a rock and a flower. And then the witch says, uh, chaos, something, 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 to locate the rock with their mind without touching the rock. And they are saying, they through the magic words, and then they blah, 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 blah. And what happens is a girl, a black girl, because I don't know her names, because they are minor characters by this point, so what else? Why should I fucking know their names? She managed to levitate the rock. And then the rock falls. And then one of the girls comes out, your hand. And then her hand kind of deforms. And I don't know if it becomes a monster hand or it just dies. But the witch comes out and say, okay, that's a good demonstration. Congratulations. Like she didn't know this fucking thing. And she comes out and say, you can't create anything without giving something. It's a symbiotic relationship. Then she grabs a flower and say the magic words, the word, and then she grabs a flower and say the magic word. And then the flower starts dying and becoming black, and then the rock starts floating. So all the girls start doing it. All of them start manage to achieve what they are trying, except the deformed girl. Now it cuts back to Garrett, and Garrett and the board they get to the place where the monsters are supposed to be. So they get there and they're talking, blah, 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 and they're kind of looking for the monster um, until something throws a rock very fast. Not a rock, it's like a small metal ball. It's a rock, so cool. So they throw it and then they hurt Garrett in the forehead. So the guy, the boards, they're Jared and the board before discussing that demons don't exist. Then the board see an image of a guy with some horns behind the grass of the tall grass, and he comes and the board say, Geralt, most demons are real, and then they just say, I want to see it, and then just start ignoring him because it keeps to Geralt fighting a monster. So what happens is this monster is kind of a guy. Imagine a half human and half goat. That was the joke that they made. And he can talk. He's a small type of monster, I guess. That is how you do it. But they're talking, and Garrett says, um, "You talk." They make the joke about being her mom fucking a goat, and then they fight each other for a little bit. And then Garrett manages to punt him down and say, dude, you're smart. I won't kill you, but you can't stay here. And then he turns out and says to Garrett, neither do you. Then they manage to smack Garrett out. Then cuts. Go back to the magic, the deformed girl. So what happens is very simple. The magic girl, if she's, I'm gonna resume this because this plot line is pretty much it for the rest. No, Yes. So the next challenge for the magic girl is going towards a sanctuary during this storm with some glass bottles to pretty much capture lightning in a bottle. And then one of the girls says, it's impossible. And then the witch says, it's magic. So, yeah. Uh, the first one failed, the second one succeeds for a certain period of time, they fail. Then it goes to the form to go and she failed. And then it comes to another one that's kind of the top of the class and she succeeds. Okay? Okay. It cuts down, look into the form go in the ground, all kind of pans out, but you see some white things. It's like insinuated that she has a light in her hands. And when they are commemorating that they managed to succeed, she gets angry and tries to lightning bolt her. The witch grabs the lightning and throws away, and then she starts complaining, She should pay class dismissed for the other girls, and then she starts saying to the farm girl that you need to control your feelings. People like the one that succeed, they ignore the feelings, and people like us will get consumed. And then they have one discussion. It cuts back to Gerald and the monster they got captured inside. They are now inside of some place. We don't show where, but it's probably some place around. It cuts back to the barge and Gerald inside of a cave. And in this cave, we see what else? An elf. It's now explained that the goat guy is working with the elves, is helping the elves because they got kicked out of the house of the home. And then they have a discussion, and Geralt pretty much start talking with the leader of the elves. And then they are about to kill them, and then they have a discussion saying that it's sort of demand that our ancestors got killed on this land. Those lands belongs to us. And if they come back here, we're gonna have be slaughtered to death. And then Garrett say, well, go away, man. Go somewhere else. Regrow. Be stronger. And the elf woman that was punching Garrett on the board pretty much wants war. She's like the type of one that wants to go and kill people. And the guy pulls down his knife. Wait, the guy pulls down his knife and he's insinuating that they're gonna kill them. And cuts to another scene. Now this scene is back with the girl. Um, the girl at the beginning that is in the camping, and then it said that the camping is under attack. We later uh, she's trying to run, and they see that the family inside of the house are fighting, and one of them dies, like a boy that figured out. But anyway, so the kid, the black kid, managed to save her back again. Then they manage to escape. That's basically what happened. And then later, I don't know how much time has passed between the boy saving her, but some time has passed. And then they are like in a river, small river, like a stream of water, drinking. And then the boy let his hat, like he's spinning. I think he take off. I think he take off. I don't think that he let fall, but the girl sees that he's an elf. Then they have the, oh. And then she's like, "Thank you for helping me." And then the elf boy that before didn't talk at all, came out and say, "My name is this." And then she responded, "My name is Siri." So we figured out who Siri is. And then later it goes back to the witch. And then the girl, you need to remember that during the entire episode, the phone girl is going between the witch training house and the school temple, talking to the guy. And before of the end, she goes back again for one last time, and she asked him to teach him how to create this portal, and then he said, "I can teach you because it's a very powerful magic." And then he explains that the schools in the temple belong to the old elves, like the first ones, the ones that teach humans how to convert chaos into magic, and then the humans kill them all. But that's what happened. And then he says, "I want to honor them." Something I forgot to tell that the former girl, something I forgot to tell you guys, is that she's Yennefer, so that's it. So they manage to go back, so she goes back to the Witcher's temple, and the Witcher is calling all the girls, but then they call Yennefer, and pretty much which shows the witch transforming three girls into the electric fish, that the one I forgot the name now, they just said, but I forget. But anyway, to transform the girl in fishes, in fish, and animals, and eels, I don't know. And then the witch comes out and says, "Come here, piglets." That's how she's been calling Yennefer during the entire episode, like piglet, because it's just a throwback for when she meets her, saying that she's worth less than a pig. That's kind of sad, but it's true. And yeah, the scenes with Yennefer in the witch and pretty much that, showing the witch giving her kind of a broom so she can throw the things in the water. And then we cut back to the end. It's the end of the episode overall. Is when the bard and the witcher are walking away from the thing. They manage to convince the elf to not kill them. And then the bard is saying that that's it. They just convince them to let you away, and you give your money to them. And I say, yeah, nice. And then the bard starts singing. And then starts calling to you, Witcher! And then they start singing the thing, and Garrett turns out and say, "That's not what happened." And then the bard turns out and say, "There's no honor in history." And then the witch comes up and saying, "Oh, and then it's the end of the episode. But we have a little bit throwback to the girl throwing the thing off, and then the witch saying that congratulations. But anyway, um, uh, I think that part in the end was the Witcher realizing that if the board was saying that he let elves leave, they would hunt and kill him. So he kind of say, yeah, it's okay saying that he killed all of them. But I don't know. I already watched the entire season, but I completely forgot about it. So I just rewatched the episode. So anyway, uh, sorry it took me some time to post again because I had some problems. I know that this channel is bad, but I have time and a phone app to edit the videos, so you don't want to be as shit anymore. Anyway, see you guys again sometime soon next week.